Today we've gotten sad news of one of the GOATs, that is Pele, the Brazilian legend, has gone ahead to really pass on. He has died at the age of 82. He has succumbed to cancer. Obviously, her daughter, known as, is it Kelly Nascimento, has come out and confirmed to us that finally it's done. He has met his creator. He's up there dancing with the angels, and I think we deserve a moment of silence to honor the great player. May his soul rest in eternal peace of Pele. And I think before I go to sleep today, I'm going to come out and really let you know what United players have gone ahead and really condoled about this GOAT. That is Pele. They've Euroized him a lot, to an extent that they've even brought back the photos of Sir Alex Ferguson and Pele, then Paul Scholes and Pele at Old Trafford, and very many others. So very many United greats have come out and really Euroized the late Pele, the legend, the Brazilian legend in there for you. But smash the like button, comment and share. Welcome to United Matters channel. Rokan David is my name. We started off on a sad note, but obviously we are going to go on and really get to the news as you guys are really anticipating for it. Thank you for subscribing. We want to hit 10,000 subscribers. I believe we are left with little number of subscribers to hit 10,000. I think it's 600, and I think in just 1 or 2 weeks, I know we are going to be done also. I believe we are going to be done and at the level of everyone that expects this to happen. So, today, what are we talking about? We are talking about Joao Felix, ultimatum set, and that is David Austin coming out and revealing to us the deep of the story, or the depth of the story. Then there is another story about Gusto, that right back for Lyon, the French 19-year-old, who is really a very good right back that United is eyeing after Leverkusen came out and said we are not going to sell our player called Frimpong in the January transfer window. Then lastly, we are going to talk about Erik ten Hag coming out and really confirming to us that the defense is really watertight, and he has given us his reasons. Then on Eriksen, on whether he thought he was going to go on and really catch up at Manchester United, obviously he has a lot of things that's going to hate to say. So let's get this started. Now for Joao Felix, if at all you've been watching the game of Atletico Madrid, I think they've just won against, it's called Elche. They've beaten Elche by 2-0, and he was the one to score in the 56th minute. That is Joao Felix, but that does not end his rumor of leaving Atletico Madrid, wanting to go all out to play for a different team because he feels that he's played in a more pragmatic system. He started in the system of 3-4-2-1. He played alongside Griezmann, and Morata was leading the line, so Joao Felix came out and scored a goal. So that is really going to increase a lot of demand for him because he has shown us that he's really a goal machine. And I know this guy still has goals in him. At the age of 22 years of age, he still has goals in him, but United looks like they have to go on and meet a certain condition to get this player. That's why the ultimatum has been revealed to us by David Austin in his own words while appearing on the NBC Sports last night. He said that Manchester United are focused on a central striker for January. Therefore, they are looking at someone like Joao Felix. If they can do that loan, there will be a number of... So they've said if they can do that loan, there will be a number of other options as well. So United is exploring very many loans like that of Joao Felix, there is Memphis Depay, and very many other players that agents are really offering to Manchester United. I believe the agents now that really have strikers are really everywhere at Manchester United. That get this one, get this one, but looks like United are having all their tabs kept on Joao Felix. Having missed out on Cody Gakpo, that means the only two realistic signings that United should go in for, it's either Joao Felix or Cody Gakpo. Or Memphis Depay. Now, for United and their PR spin, one thing that can help them out is the deal of Joao Felix. But the problem is, Joao Felix is paid £250,000 a week, and Atletico Madrid want £8 million £8 million loan fee for the 6 months. So United is weighing in to see whether they go all out for Joao Felix or not. And this shows you how incompetent we are. We don't learn from our mistakes. If we don't reinforce in January, we would have written off our season again, like we did last season twice. One, non-sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the game when we lost to Leicester by 4-2. There are very many games that really came in through. First and foremost, he was supposed to be sacked against Leicester. He was not sacked. Then we went ahead to be beaten by Liverpool. He was not sacked. Then we went ahead to be beaten by a side called Man City. He was not sacked. And obviously, it took us to be beaten. It took us to be beaten by a team called, was it Watford? And that's when he was sacked. So we lost close to how many points in total? We lost close to 12 points because this manager would have been sacked on either losses of those games. But he was not sacked. So that's how we really wrote off the season at first. Ralph Ragnick came in through and he told the board that I want like 2 players in the January transfer window to compete in the Champions League and to compete for Champions League places in the Premier League. He wanted Enzo Fernandez and Julian Alves for starters, and maybe Konrad Laimer. Those 3 players wouldn't have taken away close to 40 million euros. They said no. That was not the permanent manager. So that was the second writing of the season. After that, Eriksen comes in through, giving him players. The January transfer window is here. Ronaldo's left. We are left with only one striker in the names of Anton Martial, who is just trying to find back his fitness and not being injury prone. Cody Gakpo, the number 1 target of United in the January transfer window, has been signed by Liverpool because we couldn't raise £37 million. So if we don't sign in Joao Felix or Memphis Depay to come in and beef up that central role of a striker at Manchester United, we are going to be in total shit. Our season is really going to be in mayhem. That's it. It's like rating off the season, but the Glazers are good at this because they only want to go on and really milk out money and sell the club. Even Fabrizio has said it very well in the first video I did today, that United are not willing to go all out and spend in the January transfer window because they are going to sell the club. And this is where I ask, where is the new owner of the club? Because if you are really a person who is interested in taking over Manchester United, you should be knowing that making signings in January is paramount, and they should come in and really put there a disclaimer to the Glazers that we are selling that club, we are buying that club from you, but there are things we should see at the club. Let's talk to the manager and see which players does he want for us to sign the January transfer window, because if we don't sign them, we are not guaranteed for Champions League football next season. I think if you're a competent owner that is coming in through to take over Manchester United, this is what should be in your know. So let's wait and see what is going to happen out of that. But Joao Felix is really one of those still on the ladder of Manchester United, though United are struggling to find up a package that can suit Joao Felix to Manchester United and not affect their financial books. So after that, as I told you, I think like 2-3 days ago, there is a young teenager playing in the French League One at Lyon as a right back. He's known as Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto is a 19 years old guy playing at Lyon, and obviously he's really doing great, and United are really battling up with him, battling for him with Newcastle. Now, Mail Sport has told us that United are shelving plans to sign a 19-year-old right back Malo Gusto until the summer due to Lyon's 35 million asking price. Newcastle are chasing him too. So, United are really sick. You see, this has not only happened to Erik ten Hag, it has happened to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it has happened to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not so much, because most of the signings called for, he got them. Jose Mourinho, he wanted Savic, he didn't get him. He wanted Harry Maguire, he didn't get him. He wanted Perisic, he didn't get him. there are like 3-4 other players he wanted that he never got. Louis van Gaal too, it happened to him. He wanted Sadio Mane, he didn't get him. He wanted Fabinho, he didn't get him. He wanted this other guy, Fabinho, Sadio Mane, and Firmino. He never got them. All those 3 players were wanted by Louis van Gaal, and they are not delivered to him. So it shows you how ugly our board has been acting. And see what they are saying now, that because the player is rated £35 million, they are not going to sign him in the January transfer window. They want to go all out for him in the summer. Now, Newcastle, a team that is ahead of us by how many points? Let me check. Newcastle, a team that is ahead of us, I think they're having 34, not so. They're having 34 points. They're having 34 points, and they've played one more game ahead of us. United is having 29. So they are 5 points ahead of us, are going to strengthen themselves in January by bringing in a backup for Kylian Trippier. This boy is one of the best in the world in his age. In his age bracket, I believe he's one of those that is really great, and everyone would love to see him play for his team. So I believe the Glazers are really leaving us at a very bitter note and bad note. That means Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not going to be sold because Ten Hag has no option. He has no option unless otherwise Tuanzebe comes in through and proves him that he can go ahead and redo the needful. But I believe he's going to stick with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Diego Dello. That's it. Yet he never wanted to use this player. That's the fact. He never wanted a player called Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but he's playing with him. Reason being, Dallo is injured and he has no option left. And thank God that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is really improving. I saw him in the game of Burnley creating an assist. Then in the game of Nottingham Forest, I saw him putting in balls in the 18 yards box area of Nottingham that we are really calling for. Remember that shot that saw Malacia's effort go past the goalkeeper's legs? It net marked the goalkeeper, and then the post saved Nottingham from the ball not going to the back of the net. It would have been the first goal of United because it came in early in the 9th minute, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka was the architect of that cross that he really found Marcus Rashford, and then it found Malacia, and Malacia went in for a shot. So it shows you how good this guy is proving to be, and it works well for the Glazers because they'll tell the manager, obviously, you never wanted to use him, but look at how good he is. Don't you think he can help us because you're not in a good financial situation? And I've read the story of Lord Whitwell confirming to us that Ten Hag is okay, only is understanding the situation at Manchester United because he spent close to £215 million in the summer, but that doesn't take away the frustration he is because he needs to be backed up in the January transfer window. And before he came in through, these are things they agreed on, that you have to back me in the summer and the January transfer window for the next 3 seasons, and then you'll see what unit is going to be. And obviously we all see it. If at all Ten Hag is backed, he can even go and make a very good run for the title, because after that loss, after those 2 losses of Brighton and Brentford in the opening 2 games of the Premier League, Ten Hag went in through to do the needful and never lost again, apart from Man City and Aston Villa. And in the last 14 games we played, United has gone ahead to lose only 1 game. That game was against Aston Villa, and I can count those games very well for you because I remember them like yesterday, though we don't have time for that. But you know that we've been winning games at Old Trafford. It's now 6 wins consecutively because we lost points at Old Trafford when you're playing Newcastle. That was a draw. Thereafter, we played West Ham, we won. We played Aston Villa, we won. We played Burnley, we won. We played Omonia, we won. We played Shelf, we won, and now we won against Nottingham. So 6 consecutive wins at Old Trafford. That is a very big run for a manager known as Erik ten Hag, and he's winning 13 out of his last 14. It shows you how good he has gone ahead to improve. And I believe at this second stretch of the season, we are going to be really a good team, but we need reinforcement because we are going to be caught up by the hard fixture that is coming in through. Almost playing 2 games every week. That is going to be so tedious for the players. However much relentless we've been, that will cut down our pace at Manchester United. And I hope you guys agree with me over that. Now, the gaffer himself, the boss, Erik ten Hag has gone ahead and really said the following on the progress in defense. He said, I work with rules and we are pretty strict about sticking onto the rules. When everyone does their job, you concede fewer goals and the organization is good, and that's always the basis for winning games. And I've always told people that this is where Erik ten Hag is by far better than Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola plus Jurgen Klopp. For him, however much he plays an open game, he minds a lot about his defense. He minds a lot about it. But for Pep Guardiola, he's this kind of manager. However much he minds a lot about defense, but the way he really goes ahead to score goals is more important than the way he really minds about his defense. The same applies to Mikel Arteta. However much he's keeping clean sheets, but you see to it that he's open and getting in more clean sheets. If at all I'm to count, I think Arsenal have kept how many clean sheets? 7. Ten Hag has kept 6 clean sheets. So I 100% believe that it's an addition to Erik ten Hag, and it's a plus and a bonus to the manager of Manchester United. And that's why he's telling us that for him, what he considers a lot is simple. It's all about the organization. There are rules that are really there to be followed, and they are strict. You don't follow them, you are penalized. That's why he has used the word pretty strict. Strict means that if at all you don't do that, you are really going to go on and really see yourself penalized. So that's what he has talked about. And the organization is good and always the basis for winning games. And we all know that clean sheets win trophies and goals win matches. The more you keep clean sheets, the more your chances of really getting your hands close onto the trophy. And that's what Erik ten Hag is confirming to us. Then lastly, let's talk about Eriksen. And Erik ten Hag, the gaffer himself, has the following to say, that Ten Hag on whether he imagined Eriksen would have such a quick impact on the team. He said, oh yes, I know him very well. He's so smart off the ball, but especially on the ball, he knows where the passes are, spaces, and when to pass at the right time. Guys, Eriksen is a revelation. You see, the problem with players like Eriksen is that they kept themselves at Spurs for a very long time. Look at what Luka Modric did. Luka Modric went on to Real Madrid. Eriksen was wanted by Sir Alex Ferguson, I think even before he came into Spurs, but he snubbed us and went to Spurs. If at all Eriksen had elevated in the last 5-6 years and was playing at either Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, I believe he would have been in those levels of Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously, each and everything that De Bruyne does on the ball, Eriksen does it. And Eriksen has registered more stats in the Premier League as far as assisting is concerned than Kevin De Bruyne. And by the time he left to go to Inter Milan, he was really one of the best. He was topping the list of the most creative player in the Premier League. So he delayed a lot at Spurs. He would have made his move later. He would have made his move before and went and joined another big team that would have given him success. But right now, all what I'm seeing is all about him coming out late. Even when he went to AC Milan, Inter Milan, no much noise about that. So what we want to see is him at Manchester United. Obviously, the manager is confirming to us that he really knows how good this player is. He knows where the passes are, spaces, and when to pass at the right time. This guy is a revelation, and I think that in the past 3 games of United, he has been involved in 3 goals. In a nutshell, that summarizes what Erik ten Hag is telling you, that he knows where the passes are, spaces, and where to pass at the right time. Spaces, it's all about creating and scoring goals. He scored, by the way, he has been involved in 4 goals, because in the game of West Ham, he scored a goal and created the goal for Alejandro Garnacho. That's all about finding the spaces and the pass. Finding the space and the pass lead to a goal and an assist. Then he returned in the game of Burnley. He scored 1 goal. Then I can even attribute that assist to him, because he's the one who really tips his boot into the ball to find Marcus Rashford, and Marcus Rashford rides through the center to the 18-yard box area of Burnley, and he scores that goal. So recently, the game we played against Nottingham, He's responsible for the first assist. That corner that Rashford runs through and really finishes it, a well worked out training goal that really reflected in the match day. It was mastercrafted by Eriksen. So in the last 3 games, Eriksen is on fire. He's having 2 goals and 3 assists, 5 goal involvements. That's what Eriksen has for you, and they are not hailing him as it's supposed to be. That's why Ten Hag has come out and given Eriksen his flowers, because he deserves them, because he has worked for them. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Your thoughts on Joao Felix ultimatum said, and obviously Gusto progress as United want to bring him in the summer, are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Erik Ten Hag talking about the defending roles at Manchester United and how they've gone ahead to be observed by the central defenders? And lastly, what do you think about Eriksen? 3 games, 5 goal involvements with 2 goals and 3 assists. Rock and David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Let me see whether I'm going to come back and really leave you with how United players have realized that late Pele, the Brazilian legend. May the Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out. But don't forget to subscribe, and let's see close to 100 likes onto this video. I'm out.